On behalf of my sister Karen and my brother Colin and our entire family, we wanted to take a moment to give a heartfelt thank you to everybody here at The Young and the Restless for inviting our mother, Jeanne Cooper, into your family for the last 40 years. You know, family meant everything. As anybody who knows her, meant everything to her. Love of family, love and family meant everything to her. And certainly it started with us, the three of us, and extended to her 8 grandchildren. And after that, it was her Young and Restless family, past, present, and I'm certain somehow she will be on this set in these halls for a long time to come. So her future Young and Restless family. We know that she loved working with young actors, mentoring them, tormenting them, and she loved the relationships that she's had here for the last 40 years with some of the actors and certainly people involved with the show. I know we'd be remiss if we didn't thank the Bell family for the invention of Mrs. Chancellor. It gave my mom a life, really, outside of us. It gave her a life that meant everything in the world to her. And it allowed her to do something more importantly, and that is reach out to all of you, her fans. At times, even as her children, you wondered, I think she loved you as much as she loved us. And she loved touching your lives, and she loved the love that you gave back to her. We felt it this week in your wonderful, wonderful outpouring of love and remarks to us about her passing. And you should know that she loves you. All of this was for you. So we thank you, and we certainly hope you enjoy this wonderful tribute to our great mother, a wonderful actress, and Mrs. Chancellor, Mom.
I started The Young and the Restless around 1982, and I was one of the dozens of young actors and actresses that Miss Cooper took under her wing.
I started on the show so young, and, you know, it's so intimidating what we do if you're not used to it, and it's so fast. And boy, she was one of the first people I met, and she just completely took me under her wing and supported me and made me feel like I could do this.
She did it in such a way where she wasn't telling you anything.
Yeah.
You almost got it subliminally, yeah, where it wasn't a lesson, or it wasn't, now you listen, young man. It was almost by osmosis.
Yeah.
Just being around her.
Just live for... Oh, and I was just going to say, when I was in the courtroom, and I know she'd be sitting behind me, and I'd have a 5-page, monologue, and she'd be there, and she'd be reading, and she'd be very quiet. And then at the end, when the time was right, she'd look you in the eye and go, and that said it all.
First started the show, I was 20, really, whatever. And she walks up to me and stroked my face and goes, she was like kind of petting me, and she goes, listen, you're going to get a lot of girls. And I said, wow, thanks. And then she stopped petting me and squeezed my face and said, don't be stupid.
Phyllis was getting married to Danny Romalotti. I was having a hard time crying in a scene, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all. And she said, come here. And she took me backstage, and this was, she looked at me, she held my hand, then she let go, she went, everyone hates you! No one likes you! Everyone hates you! Everyone despises you! What method is that?
I keep seeing the jewelry on Michelle's knee, and she was famous for her jewelry, and I always loved seeing that hand in there while she was talking and showing the rings on it.
I know.
The three of us worked together, and the chemistry, and
we love those comedy scenes.
We love those comedy scenes, and then Esther protects Mrs. C.
Yes.
Esther was the first one to call her Mrs. C, so protects her no matter what Jill does.
The cat fight was in the attic, and we decided that our stunt doubles, were not doing a very good job and not making a very good show of it. So we said, we'll do it. And we did it. And this was only like 10 years ago, and every cat fight I had with her, it was like, oh, I've got to be so careful of her. And no, she was tough as nails. I mean, we went over on a sofa up in the attic, like just tipped over. It was pretty amazing. They were really fun, those scenes.
The two of
You had the most amazing scenes together. You had such a dynamic that
Amazing chemistry.
it was thrilling. It seemed so spontaneous. It didn't seem scripted at all.
It wasn't. We just had fun. That's what she was about. Fun.
Yeah.
When I look in my mind, that's what she was about.
I didn't really get to have my first one-on-one scene with her, you know, for 9 years. Until we started our first and really only storyline together, and finding out I was her grandson. Welcoming me in not only to the Chancellor family, but just to the Young and the Restless family for my first day. I'm the warmest person that I've come across.
It was exactly that. She just had a special place for everyone.
I brought this out.
What is that?
Those of you who frequent my dressing room have seen it on the wall for 20 years. This is a great shot of us. It's my favorite because we are both having so much fun. And it was taken the day that she got her star on the Walk of Fame.
You know, I had a conversation with her the day after she won her Emmy for lead actress. And I said, so how does it feel?
I was having trouble crying one day, and she said, here's what you do. You pretend you're like this doorknob, and she pointed to the doorknob in her dressing room, and she became the doorknob, and she said, I'm just sitting here every day, and everybody's walking along, and they're touching me, and they're yanking me, and they're pushing me, and she became the doorknob. And I thought, that's what makes her such a good actress. She could put herself inside of everybody.
There was this scene giving birth to you on the stairs.
Well, that's right.
So many things have happened on those stairs.
I know.
And I was in the middle of the storm, and Mrs. Chancellor helped deliver little Kate, who is now Chloe.
Yeah, they were fantastic scenes.
Where did the name Duchess come from? Did you start that, or did they write that?
Bill. Bill. Come on, Duchess. Come on.
And I hope she's with my dad and, you know, a lot of our friends.
Yeah.
And that's the other connection. The two of them, they had a pretty complex relationship. I mentioned that this Bell family was in Chicago, and how they knew about Hollywood.
It's a great loss for this show to have lost her, because her feet were back in the history of LA, as you say, in the history of Hollywood. And for her to plant her feet here and bring that experience and that gem of reality to this show.
I loved Jeannie, loved working with her.
Yeah. I remember her smiling, you know. When I think of her, I think of her smiling. We always had laughs when we did a scene together. Never failed. And what I admire most about her is that at the age of 80 whatever, she knew her lines. First time, first take, maybe 2 takes. But we always had laughs.
Everybody, no matter what the scene was about, or if you were in a bad mood, or if you were tired, we always ended up laughing during the rehearsals, sometimes during take.
My most vivid memory of her was when I first met her also, and it was in the audition. I was told by my agent, you're going to go read for Young and the Restless, you're going to read with Jeanne Cooper. And my agent warned me, said, you'll get the part if the chemistry is right. And I hadn't looked at my chemistry set in a long time. So I walked into the conference room, and there were all these people, and I was very nervous because it's just kind of intimidating just knowing about her beforehand. And she was at the end of the conference table with the pages in her hand, and I came in with the pen. I was kind of nervous, and she knew I was nervous, and she looked at me, and she introduced herself, and she just waved at the other people and said, don't worry about them, just have fun.
My most wonderful memories with her, there are so many to choose from, but it would be my very first scene with her.
That what she brought to this new little soap opera, what she brought to Bill and Lee Bell, and what she brought to the writers and everyone else, was a fully realized character. And she was a character.
The charisma, the energy, the vitality. Every time I looked at her, like you said, Josh,
there was this incredible sparkle and magical look in her eyes, her aura, her presence, unlike anything I've ever witnessed.
She was the diva, she was this show, and she taught all of us by her example.
She was able to focus and know who you were and tune into who you were and make you special.
She seemed to feel very, very connected to people who were lost and wanting to help them, which I thought was a really beautiful thing, and it was really so much of who she was.
So I, strolled onto the set, and I'm in my script, and it's time to do it, and time to meet Jeanne. And so I put out my hand and made eye contact, like my father always taught me to do when you meet somebody. And she looked at me, and everyone's got the story, so it's not unusual, but she just targeted me, and I knew at that moment that there was nothing I could say or do to convince this woman that I wasn't exactly who I am. And she demanded it of me at all times.
We had a scene about 2 years ago, I think it was, where Kevin had been kidnapped, and he finally comes back to town, and we're here in the Chancellor living room, and I'm thanking her for being so supportive and for not giving up on me. And she has a monologue where she just talks about how much she cared about me and what a special friend she thought I was. And I didn't have a line back to her, but when she was done, I just looked at her and I said, "I love you too." And I wasn't acting. It was just what I felt like saying at that moment.
She always, had names for people, too. I mean, I called her Jeannie Jean.
I called her Janina.
Yeah, you called her Janine?
Yeah.
Called her Jeannie Jean. She called me Kathy Kate.
She called me Little Ho. Every day. Didn't get Elizabeth, didn't get Lizzie.
I had no idea her name was Jeanne for the longest time.
Because everybody called her
She's
something
Jeanne, and I started
different.
calling her Jeanne. She said, "You call me Jeannie, don't you?" I said, "Yes, I do." I couldn't call her anything but Jeannie.
She got mad at me when I'd say, "Listen, man, thank you so much. This means so much. Man, I'd be in a hotel or something. It just wouldn't be." And I got to be with her.
Did you call her ma'am?
I did probably call her man. Hey, man, I did call her
What
man.
did we call her? We called her Jeannie. We called her Beanie. We called her Beaner.
Jean was
Bean. I mean, here's someone we all respected so much, and I would look over at her and say, "Hey, Beanie," and she would turn. I mean, how great is that?
Beanie was one of mine for her too.
Everyone had cute nicknames. She just called me a little. And I remember the first time I met her, she was so warm and so accommodating, so generous. There was nothing that you could not talk to her about.
Everybody here had this feeling that they had a special place in her heart.
Yeah.
You know, they had some special connection. Everyone felt that.
Yeah.
That was her in New Orleans. And I was, you know, I wanted to hit the town and go out. I was like, we had this big dinner, and I was like, let's just order dinner so I can get out of here. And we ended up sitting there for 2 hours listening to her talk about Hollywood and her life.
Yeah.
It was riveting. And she gave more to fans than anyone I've ever met. We all think we're kind of a big deal.
Right.
Fans love this woman.
Right. Well, I love how she always says, her famous line at fan events is always to say, there is no star of the show. The star of the show is the show.
Right.
But she was wrong, because she was absolutely the star.
Back in the early 90s, when I first started doing appearances for Young and the Restless, I was going to the Deep South. And it was interesting to see the reaction that I would be signing an autograph, but they would talk all about, so how is Mrs. C? And how is her life? What do you guys, what's your relationship like? I can't remember a single time when I wasn't asked about Jeanne Cooper.
She'd be so happy that we're here and that we're doing this and celebrating this and celebrating.
Yeah, you should be doing that.
Yeah, right.
Every other year we have the fan club that people come from far and near. And during that week, if you stopped into Jeannie's room to run lines with her, there were 8 people in her room.
Here I thought I had the most special relationship with her, and I come to find thousands of people have had the exact same experience, and how extraordinary that one person can make each one of us feel like the most special person.
If you were doing lines in her room with her and the door knocked and it was a fan, everything stopped. She would never make anybody feel slighted or that they weren't important.
She was a friend to me and to all of us, you know, and she had that thing that did that. But, you know, she was wonderful to be around. Well, it's that humanity that she has. She co-founded a drug rehabilitation center in Midlands, Texas. She raised the money.
That's a wonderful gift to make everyone feel they have a special place in her heart.
Yep. Well, every member of the crew on this stage, when Jeanne would walk on, no matter who she was with in the scene with her, they'd know they were in for a good time.
Where every time Jeanne would leave the set, every day you hear, "Good night, everyone," and every night, "Good night, Jeanne."
Chapter 8, co-stars and other playmates. Apparently, it's been widely publicized that I've developed a reputation on the Y&R set, particularly amongst the younger male members of the cast, such as Greg Rickhart, Josh Morrow, Billy Miller, and Michael Grazadeh, that I am a serial pincher. That no butt or groin area is safe during a scene with me, as exhibited by your square dance.
I really thought that we had a very unique and special relationship, me and Jeanne. My favorite scene ever was we were doing a square dancing scene, and we went, every time we went round the corner, or whatever the jargon is for square dancing, she would, grab my groin, and I thought it was unique.
No.
To us.
I think it's a term of endearment. If you've been goosed by Jeanne, it means you're a member of the club.
Yeah, have you ever been goosed by Jeanne Cooper?
I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
at least once or twice.
I never really knew about the constant ass grabbing, so I feel a little like
I think it was gender related, perhaps. I don't know.
She was always a presence in my life. Some of you know that my wife had a very arduous labor, and it was 38 hours. And I came out of the operating room, and I saw my mom, and right next to my mom was Jeanne with flowers, and I don't know how she knew. It was 2.5 days later from when we went in.
God.
It was.
She'd been there for 2 days, you know.
Hair all done, and she just showed up always at the right time, and in a just a big loving way. I mean, it was. You just felt so comfortable when you're in her presence.
I came home from Mexico and got sick, and she called me in the hospital. I was like, how'd you even know where I was? Right. I mean, I called in sick from work. I was like, and she called me in my hospital room.
At work, we're very cordial. We're a lot of fun. She will bring the life, and she'll cuss and make everybody happy, and very accommodating. But I got sick at one point. She found out about it, and I kicked this thing. And she knew that I was, single by myself. And it's a weekend, and I'm staying home, and I get this phone call. There's this gravelly old voice. "Bill, are you in bed?" And she called me 3 days straight to make sure that A, I wasn't stupid, B, I was taken care of, and to make sure that if I needed anything, she would take care of it. And ever since then, if there was ever a problem personally, I'd get a "Bill, come to my room and talk to me for a minute." And she epitomized the term grandma.
She's our mom. She's our grandma. She's our nana. She was everything that I think I look up to.
She would not want anyone to be maudlin or sad and think of the sadness. She would want everyone to say what a great life she had.
I'd celebrate her.
How many people she touched, how many millions of people that their lives she changed. And she would want everyone, whether they worked with her personally or only ever watched her on the show, to celebrate that and take that love and move forward and laugh and love.
Truly, a celebration of her life.
And that's what this is about right now. There's a celebration of the magnificence of that lady.
Jeanne, we will miss you
forever.
Every day.
What a champ.
Yeah.
Truly a champ.
You always knew that she was in your corner.
She was such a force of nature.
I actually fell in love with her.
There was a heart in that woman that was special. There was an insecurity and a security about her. There's a beautiful balance in her.
Her love for all of us and for the viewers.
Yeah.
And the fans was so important. She taught me so much from day one.
Whenever you went into her dressing room or her home, there was always magic going on because she was there.
She set the tone for this whole show.
I'm really lucky that I got to spend so much time with her this last few years, too.
Thank you, Jeanne, for the magic. And she was magic.
I'm so grateful that I got to know and love her.
The show was new. It was half an hour. It was live on tape. Everyone was kind of going, just learning what to do. And she knew on the first day what to do.
She would do surprising, spontaneous, amazingly generous things.
Right.
people who are trying to make something of their life touched her.
What a generous woman.
Talk about a great life. You love your job. You love being at home.
We are so much richer for having had her.
She kind of raised all of us, no matter how old you were.
She had the mouth of a swarthy sailor.
Yes. However, she was very elegant and eloquent most of the time.
And she embraced every single person as if they were family.
Very nice lady. She was very welcoming. She's quick to give you a compliment. She's also quick to tell you if you're doing something wrong.
If there's a heaven, you know, she's up there telling stories.
Great lady.
Yeah.
Great lady.